Serving on your HOA board means making decisions that affect your entire community. But are you 100% sure that those decisions you're making as a board member won't come back to haunt you? You see, most HOA boards think that they've got it covered, until obviously they don't. Even with a property manager, the legal and financial liability often lands squarely on your shoulders. Here's the deal though, guessing your way through CC&Rs isn't just risky, it's actually avoidable. Solume Assistant gives you the clarity you need. Let me show you how our AI-powered tool takes the guesswork out of governance and puts confidence back in your hands. But before we jump in and I show you how it works, I want to draw your attention to the fact that this is a demo community with fake CC&Rs. This isn't a real community, so if the answers seem excessive, the reason is the governing documents are incredibly strict. I wrote them that way. So let's jump over into the Solume Assistant, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how this works. For the sake of today, I'm not going to cover all of these things that it can do, but we're just going to focus in on the Solume Assistant. So I have a set of questions that are common, right? These are just common questions that we're going to ask. And like I said, that these are only pulling answers directly from this particular demo community. So let me drop in a question here. I'm just going to ask, what are the primary responsibilities of the HOA board members? Let's see what it says. Based on the information provided in the excerpts, the primary responsibilities of the HOA board members include overseeing the governance and operations of the HOA and conducting meetings, approvals for, things like where the money goes, managing the HOA's finances, maintaining and improving common areas. So there's all sorts of things that are kind of outlined in here, specific to what this community's boards are doing. So let's just say, what if we have a question about, something specific like amending the bylaws or the CC&Rs? How do we go about that? Well, let's see what this one particularly says. So you can see already that this creates a much easier to navigate type of response than just sifting through all of the documents and trying to figure out like what it's saying. Here, it just kind of gives you a pretty quick understanding of what's expected of you. So we're going to move on to maybe a little bit more of a question that's relevant to CC&Rs rather than specifically your bylaws. But I'm just going to type this in. What are the architectural guidelines and approval process for property modifications? Basically an architectural request, right? So again, based on this particular community CC&Rs, any deviation from the approved colors requires prior written consent by the architectural review committee. Here it's talking about landscaping. Let's ask a follow-up question here. Are the colors of the landscaping you listed the only approved colors? All right, so now it's giving us the very specific colors. Now it's giving us the very specific colors that are approved. But what if I say, what happens if someone paints their house a color that isn't approved? All right, so this is the answer we're getting to right there. Unauthorized, they'll be fined $500 per violation. The homeowner will be required to restore the house to the approved colors within 30 days. So that's, we're not having to sift through all of these documents. We just literally ask it a question. And that's the beauty of it. If you can ask a question, it will give you the answer. And the answer, again, is only going to be based on your community's bylaws or CC&Rs. All right, so we're going to ask another question here. This is a common question that people have about the use of common areas and amenities. All right, so it's pulling the pool, the playground, the common area restrictions, noise nuisances. Children 12 years of age are not permitted in the playground without an adult supervision. Footwear must be worn. Violations can result in a $100 fine. So again, we're bypassing having to sift through all of these documents and just getting the answer that we're looking for specifically. Let's ask a question about the collection of dues. Wow, their monthly assessment is $600. It's due on the first of the month. If somebody wants to pay quarterly, they have a 3% discount. If they want to pay annually for $6,800, they get a 5% discount. Payments must be submitted via the methods outlined by the HOA. Okay, so they probably have a list of ways that you can pay. A late fee of $10 per day will be applied. All right, so that's a very easy answer. Now that you've seen how Solume Assistant can make sense of the dense CC&Rs and bylaws, you can see that it's like having a 24/7 assistant who actually knows all the rules to your community. But this is just one part of what Solume can do. From managing dues to keeping track of vendor relationships, it's built to simplify the whole HOA management process, so you don't have to outsource everything to a company. If you're curious how this could work for your community, let's set up a quick demo with your own documents. You can reach out to me or a member of our team at solume.com.